Okay, tell us about the car.
Well, this is GM Chevy Equinox fuel cell vehicle. It's GM's fourth generation fuel cell vehicle. You would think that by now we'd actually have them on the road, but unfortunately we run up against policy. And if you're asked a policymaker, they'll tell you that this technology is 20 years out. But that's not the case. I know it because I work with it every day. My name is Achille West. I am a community relations specialist for Shell Hydrogen, and we've brought the vehicle out here today in accordance with General Motors to show that there is green technology. Hydrogen is green technology. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it's green in that hydrogen can be gotten from water, right? H2O, through a process of electrolysis. Electricity can come from the sun to make that process happen. And the only emission that comes out of the back of this vehicle when hydrogen is used is water vapor and heat, both of which can be reused. The water is clean and pure, so if someone can figure it out, hopefully one of our up-and-coming scientists can figure out a way to take water and recycle it into clean water, and then also get the energy that we need for our daily lives.
Okay, let's take a look inside.
Sure, come this way. Take a look inside. As you see, it's a pretty nice design, but pretty much like the existing Chevy Fuel Equinox, as this fuel cell vehicle was made on the existing Equinox chassis. But that's where the similarities end. Underneath the hood, you will find no engine. You will find a fuel cell, and there's no transmission in this vehicle. There's an electric motor, there are two batteries, and basically hydrogen is used to provide electricity to the electric motor and to the batteries. And yeah, it's got 90% fewer moving parts than conventional combustion petrol, diesel burning, or petrol gasoline burning vehicles. And it's around the same weight, slightly heavier, because the gas tanks which hold the hydrogen are rather heavy. But other than that, it's a step up. We say that it's going to be the end game, because right now you have electric vehicles hitting the road, and this is actually an electric vehicle. How the system works is hydrogen, which is stored in the tanks in the back, is pushed through fuel rails up to the front of the vehicle, where you have the fuel cell, and the hydrogen is pushed through the fuel cell. Now, hydrogen is an interesting atom in that it holds only one electron. So when that hydrogen is pushed through the fuel cell, that electron comes off. And as each hydrogen is pushed through, each electron comes off, and that gives you an electrical stream. That electrical stream goes straight to the electrical motor, which turns the wheels, and then also goes to batteries to back up the batteries and give auxiliary power.
Okay. I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
I figured I'd say everything so you didn't have to ask any more questions.
Okay, well, break it down for me. How do you keep it running?
Okay, well, how you keep it running is by keeping fuel in it.
It does still take fuel,
It
regular
takes
gas.
hydrogen gas.
Okay.
Now, the gas we use now is a misnomer in that it's a liquid, not a gas. This actually takes gas, hydrogen, as a gas. And hydrogen can come in both gaseous and liquid form. When it's delivered to the station at 3355 Benning Road Northeast here in Washington, the Shell station, it's delivered as a liquid. But then as it heats up to room temperature or atmospheric temperature, it turns into a gas, and that's siphoned off, delivered to the dispenser or the pump, and put into the vehicle. So this car takes no petroleum, has no petroleum in it at all, no oil for any motor or anything like that, and of course no gasoline.
And the benefits, of course.
Benefits, of course, clean burning, clean for the environment, cleaner air. Also help us to end our dependence on foreign sources of fuel, help us to keep from going to wars over fuel and the like. And again, what we have a abundance of on this earth is sun and water. And essentially that's the energy and the substance that it takes to make hydrogen. So it makes sense, 90% of the atoms on Earth are hydrogen atoms. It makes sense for that to be our future fuel.
Okay, thank you so much for schooling us.
Thank you.
All right.
So if you look here where you usually have the engine, you have a fuel cell stack. And this is, as it suggests, a stack of fuel cells. So as I mentioned before, when the hydrogen comes from the hydrogen tanks down through the fuel rails and comes to this, the fuel cell, it comes in through these tubes here. And it's then, of course, generated into energy, which goes back out through these wires, both to the electrical motor and to auxiliary batteries here and further back in the chassis. So of course, no motor oil because you have no engine that needs to be lubricated. You do have a air filter, and you do have a radiator because it does get extremely hot and needs to be cooled. So, how much is this worth? Well, the program with GM is GM's program is $1 billion program. I like to tell people this car itself is worth $1 million. There's 100 of them on the roads throughout North America, mainly situated in Washington, D.C., New York, and Santa Monica, California, where we have the infrastructure, the hydrogen fueling infrastructure. And as I said, this is about a $1 million vehicle, amounting up to about $100 million worth of vehicle on the road. Of course, economies of scale will make the price of this much cheaper. So when GM is able to manufacture 100,000 and $1 million, they are hoping to be able to put this car at a $30,000 to $40,000 price point. So very affordable. I mean, they could have put it in the Cadillac. They decided to put it in the Chevy so that it can be affordable to all. But yeah, it is an expensive piece of equipment here. And what I would like to talk to people about is looking into the automotive industry right now as a career. Getting trained on this type of technology will put you in the catbird seat. Right now, the United States government is investing in fuel cells, both for vehicle applications and for stationary applications. Now, fuel cells can be used where there's no electrical power lines as a distributed source of energy. So all you have to do is have hydrogen fuel tanks and have a fuel cell, and you can get electricity just about anywhere. Okay? And so the importance of learning this technology now is that this is where the high-paying jobs will be of the future, is working on these types of things. I have mechanics now already asking me, where can I go for training? Where can I learn more about it?